What's up, ladies and gents? My name is Parv and I welcome you all to our League of Legends Top 5 Plays episode number 303. It's lovely to have you here, so thanks for joining us today, and as always, if you like what we do, consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps us out a ton. Let's get the show on the road because we have some amazing plays in today's lineup, and our first one comes from D. Latovsky on Nami. Her team is collapsing on a few stragglers in the river, and when they're against the wall, there's nowhere to run, so she sends in the wave, hitting all three while Xerath's Arcane Barrage rains down, and then a devastating triple bubble lands, sealing their fate. Xerath comes on in and finishes off Warwick and Syndra with a single Q as Kled charges in with his ult, basically putting the cherry on top. Let's dial back to watch that big Nami wave and bubble, which sets up her team for the easy collapse and eventual ace. Moving along and into our number 4 play, we have Splatter Hentai playing Quinn and going beast mode in a mid-game skirmish. She soars into the fight and sees Cassio moving in the river, so she backs off and reveals the nearby area, but gets demounted by Cassiopeia at the same time. She goes onto Yasuo, walking away from his wind wall and dealing massive damage to him through crits and her Q. After he goes down, she goes on to Cassiopeia, but here comes Rakan, so she E's to avoid the knockup and finishes off Cassio. Afterwards, Karma flashes over the wall to help out Quinn, and together they take down the remaining two, getting the triple kill to Quinn and the single kill to Karma. Coming in at third place, we have Hayam Taco and her trusty support Janna outplaying the enemy team while outnumbered. In the beginning, Olaf pops his ult and runs it on Xayah, but the tornado hits the two way in the back, which buys them a lot of time. Lux walks up and casts her E, which splits them up, but she goes onto Olaf for the quick kill before the condemn lands. Leona walks up to try to get the stun, but she manages to cast her ult in time and then flashes back to the heal. She activates Blade Caller to pull all the feathers back and gets the triple kill immediately, followed by the quadra kill in a 2v4 through great teamwork and individual play. Slingshotting his way into our number 2 spot for this week, we have Sergeant 360 on Zac with a game-saving play. He winds up the elastic slingshot, hitting 2 and positioning himself deep into the enemy team so that his ult carries all 5 back onto the barrels for massive damage. The enemy team have 2 Guardian Angels, but it's not going to matter as they come up and they quickly go down shortly after for the ace. There's a huge creep wave in the top lane, so Heimerdinger and Gangplank teleport to join it and win the game. That was a beautiful wombo combo, so let's rewind back to that moment where Zac flies in and casts his ult, grouping up the entire enemy team and repositioning them onto the barrel. If you look carefully, Gangplank actually chains his barrel to hit Veigar even though he flashes. And for our number 1 pro play for this week, we have GGI and Serenity on Vladimir, and at the beginning of this play, we see him rolling up to Baron right after the enemy team secure it. He drops his ultimate on 3 and then pulls and goes after the enemy Ahri, and Tristana helps him out as she just barely gets the kill with her ultimate. Vladimir enters stasis and Lucian starts calling in anticipation for him to get out, so he has to flash to the side, Q Braum, and then he does what damage he can before pulling to get into a better position. He breaks line of sight as Jarvan comes for the EQ combo, but he jukes it out and then the body slam connects, but the double bubble saves his life and allows him to heal up and finish off the Gragas. Now left in a 2v1, they both get on Jarvan and Vlad knows the EQ is coming, so he pulls just in time to avoid the knockup and then he Qs right after for a huge chunk of health back. Jarvan is back up right behind him, so they push forward as they go onto Nami, but she's going to flash over the wall to safety as Vladimir takes down Jarvan. He activates Tides of Blood and pulls in between them so that Braum's barrier doesn't block the damage and he's able to hit Lucian, taking them both down for the ace. And last but not least, we have a play to remember on Shaco, tormenting the poor enemy jungler in his own jungle at the start of the game. He strolls on in at level 2 and goes right onto the Graves, and this is a fight he can't win, especially with Shaco holding Ignite, so he smites red buff for health and then he gets out of there with Flash. Shaco decides to not bother chasing and goes straight onto the red buff, but Graves really wants his red buff and he comes back, messing up his auto and giving Shaco an opportunity to smite it away. He's that pesky Shaco everyone hates, and he mirrors the Graves going over to his blue buff, queuing over the wall and getting into the brush. He puts down a box and Graves knows something is up, so he comes over to check it out, spots the Shaco, and they start fighting it out. Bard's here to back his boy up, so Shaco decides to back off for now and rejoin with the Blitzcrank as they position over the wall, hooking the Graves and bringing him down. They both walk over to the blue buff, and Bard just wants to hang around to try to get that blue buff, but he's unable to as Shaco gets it as well. And, well, goodbye. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and a special thanks to the sponsor of today's top 5 plays, HyperX. They've been sponsoring us for a few years now, and without them, a lot of what we do wouldn't be possible, so if you're in the need of a new headset, mouse, or keyboard, they have really high quality stuff that's very reasonably priced. This is their Stinger headset, which is just under 50 bucks, and it makes for a fantastic main headset or even a backup. We have a promo link down below for those interested, and by using it, you're supporting us as well, so thanks to those who do. I had a wonderful time casting today's episode, even though I was feeling a bit under the weather, so thanks for bearing with me. Congrats to the winner of Week 302's HyperX Pulsefire Mouse. We contacted you through commenting, so get back to us when you see this. Thanks everyone for tuning in today, and I hope you all enjoyed.